Hey everyone, Robin Openshaw here. Let's talk about bioengineered foods and talk about like 72 different foods that have bioengineered ingredients, which are worse than genetically modified. Okay, you might have noticed that a lot of processed foods now have a warning on the label that says contains bioengineered ingredients. Unfortunately, like I said, bioengineered is worse than genetically modified. This warning's required, and the consumer's been told with this label that you're buying at your own risk because food manufacturers can gene splice to create artificial food-like substances and flavorings. We aren't even going to know until like 20 years into using these foods, and finally some data emerges. Finally, we'll maybe know what the negative effects these products will have on human health, but we do know that these ingredients are not properly tested for safety. And based on how GMOs have gone, I'm concerned about even more rise in autoimmune disease, neurological disease, mood disorders, cancers, all the things. Bioengineering means altering the molecular structure of food in ways that naturally raising fruits and vegetables and livestock doesn't. So some of these biomolecules may be harmful to consume, and the way we'll know is that many will buy food products assuming that these companies wouldn't be allowed to make it if it weren't safe, and then later we'll find out what happens. Because you might notice something going on with your health, but you don't track it to a specific ingredient or specific food that you ate. So some bioengineered food additives have already been proven to be dangerous and have been flagged. And that's why there's the required warning label. If we just skip the processed food in drive-throughs and bags and cans and packages of all kinds, and we get back to making some of our own food, like people did for thousands of years, we'll feel better and we won't have this sense of unease, like, what did I just eat? Let's run through some of the popular brands and products that have this warning label. We'll start with cereals. General Mills, Cheerios, Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puffs, Cookie Crisp, and Cinnamon Chex. Post Oreo O's, Kellogg's Crispix, Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, and Raisin Bran. Besides cereals, a lot of cookies and crackers are using bioengineered ingredients, including Oreos, Chips Ahoy cookies, Pop-Tarts, Nature's Valley granola bars, Ritz crackers, Cheez-It crackers, Snyder's pretzels, Doritos chips, Kroger potato chips, Goldfish crackers, Tostitos chips, Pepperidge Farm pumpernickel bread, Honey Made graham crackers, Tasty Cake honey buns, Little Debbie Nutty Buddies. That is not a comprehensive list. That's just some. So frozen foods include Hot Pockets, Red Baron frozen pizza, Lean Cuisine meals, Mrs. T's brand foods, pierogies, Red Lobster products, Cheddar Bay biscuits. Dairy products include Coffee Mate creamer, Dannon Greek yogurt, Bluebell ice cream, Publix cookies and cream ice cream. Again, this isn't a comprehensive list, but those are some. Condiments include Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise, Hidden Valley Ranch, Sweet Baby Ray's Buffalo Wing Sauce, Prego plant protein spaghetti sauce, and Great Value, the store brand classic ranch seasoning mix. Okay, then there's soups you might be familiar with: SpaghettiOs, Campbell's chicken noodle soup, and beef gravy, tomato soup, ham and bean soup. Candy like M&Ms, Snickers, Skittles, Jolly Ranchers sticks, lots more, but that's a sampling. So what do we do? So we highly recommend foregoing a bit of convenience and getting your health back, making your own food again. There's a movement afoot to regain control of our health and not just take our lumps with all these processed foods. My 12 Steps to Whole Foods course is a compendium of the 12 best practices I discovered in getting my family off the standard American diet. Each of those 12 steps have recipes and instructions. This is how we got our health back. after my health and my small children's health just tanked. We'd been on the standard American diet for years, and some injectable pharmaceutical products totally knocked us over. So check out the video masterclass for the 12 Steps to Whole Foods course, which is how I got my family's health back. I've continued on this plan now for half my life. And I feel so good, and I recovered my children's health. I will never go back to the standard American diet. So none of the bioengineered foods that we just talked about are in my diet, and it's really not hard to avoid them. So I hope for the same for you. Thanks for following Green Smoothie Girl, and I'll see you next time.